Well. You're listening to Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright then, I may say words on point, straightforward. No jibber jabber, everybody forward. Issues, facts and solution. Get it at Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright, what other thing is a revolution? Get it on point with Professor Buitrón. Gloves Off, no nonsense issues, politics, community. A better men follow reader. Gloves Off, a revolutionary show with everything that you need to know. With Professor Buitrón. Watch ya!
Gloves Off is always on point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off.
Back at you and Gloves Off, Professor Buitrón, and got a great guest that has been keeping alive a history with his art, and that is Don Castillo, the martial artist.
Hey,
How we doing? You doing good? How we doing, Don?
we're doing good, man. Happy day to you. It's a nice Sunday.
Yeah, and thank you. Likewise. Where are you now?
I'm in Clanton, Alabama. It's a small town between Birmingham and Montgomery, which is two major cities.
Yeah, you used to be over in San Antonio for a while, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I lived in San Antonio up until about 20 years ago.
Okay.
So those are my roots.
Exactly. You know, let's touch base on your art because you are hitting a niche that is basically you're documenting a lot of people that are in the martial arts and preserving them in time. And that is great. You know, there's a lot of martial art instructors out there. They'll sometimes document their work through video and all that good stuff,
Right.
photos. But you take it to a different extreme. You actually draw and paint them, don't you?
Right. I do. I've done a lot of martial artists images, in what they call a digital painting or a digital drawing, and because I use everything on a digital tablet when I create it. So, I've been doing that for 10 years maybe. So I've amassed quite a collection of people and different, martial artists and different ranks, different styles over the years. And, it's really given me a really big base on content, where I can, now that I'm showing some of my old content from, 4 or 5 years ago, it's starting to come back around and new people are starting to see it. And it's just growing and growing, every time, I get a post somewhere, somebody wants me to do a drawing of them or, represent their style, or maybe create a logo for them.
Absolutely. You see a lot of, especially in the Kempo era, you have Ed Parker's son, Edmund Parker. He's a great artist. He does another preserve on many martial artists, and that is just beautiful work. And what you all do, preserving that type of history, those images, it's excellent, because every time you walked into an Ed Parker school, you had a picture, a drawing of the like of Grandmaster Ed Parker. And a lot of different schools all of a sudden started portraying their instructors on the wall. There's always been a reverence to those that came before you in the martial arts, in certain arts. And usually you have a picture or within the school of where the founder was or the creator of that system. And it goes down the line and who came after that. And it's something historically profound to the martial arts. And a lot of individuals never found how they can get those drawings done. And you are supplying that right now. And we want to thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been really a nice journey getting to meet so many people that, requested artwork. And some of them I would just do randomly and post them. And, I get a big sense of pride for preserving history. I got a good, just a good feeling for giving somebody something that even, if they didn't pay me for it, I still want to preserve that history for them and do something nice for people. There's too much negative out there. I'm trying to be the positive, and through all the negative. So.
Absolutely.
And I've always had the love for drawing, and since I was young, I started drawing on the walls, when I was a kid. So it just kind of progressed from there. I had a brother that was really good at drawing like army scenes, tanks, airplanes, stuff like that. And I admired his talent, but I took it to kind of a different direction where I like to draw people more than buildings or backgrounds or planes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So that and my love of comic books, that's also a big part of it. I still have an old collection from when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
I mostly collected for the artwork. I had a lot of really good influencers, like, I don't know if you've heard of Frank Frazetta.
No.
He passed away, but he was a fantastic fantasy artist and did a lot of work. And he kind of, geared my style a little bit toward his, because he was just such a great illustrator.
Absolutely. And it's great to see who are some of the greats that you've taken the pleasure of drawing and preserving.
Like I said, I have drawn Ed Parker before, tons of Bruce Lee, tons of Dan Inosanto. I got the JKD crowd. I was trying to help them out. I got some young guys right now that I'm helping out start their, they got a new group going on, and they wanted some, some illustrations for that. But I've got artwork from, people like Jeff Smith, Bill Wallace,
Sure.
Al Francis, which was my instructor in San Antonio.
Sure.
Lots of the old guys, that were coming up, Chuck Norris and Bill, just all the greats that really are, it's a lot of that history, is not being shown as much, so I'm trying to bring all that back and let people know where these, where the great fighters came from.
Absolutely. And Texas has a whole array of them, and has a huge history from Al Francis. I haven't seen Al Francis. That's a name that, probably the last time I saw him. In fact, I ran into him about 16 years ago, maybe. My son's 15, so that's why I'm dating it that way, because my son wasn't even born yet. And I was at a gun show, and he passed up and we started laughing, you know.
Yeah.
And we talked for a while, but I don't even know. Does he still have a school in San Antonio?
Oh yeah. He has a school that last I heard it was with the Parks and Recreation Department over there, and he's still got a pretty good class. I'm sure he's got. You know, we used to train it on the. It was called the Ella Austin Center back in the day. I'm not sure if he still has that going. The last time I seen him was about 2013 at one of Gary Lee's events where, you know, I was showing up to do some artwork over there. I also created, kind of with Gary, this cartoon called The Karate Whisperer. And, you know, just try to make some funny cartoons about martial arts so people could get, you know, a few laughs. And that, you know, that was just a great experience. Because a lot of people can start, like say they want to make a comic book or something, but never ever complete it. You know, I've actually completed one, so they said that's the biggest step is just getting past the first one. I do have a bunch of books on Amazon of my illustrations, so if anybody wants to look for those, just type in Don Castillo books on Amazon. You'll probably find a big list.
If somebody wants to get in touch with you to do some work, how can they do that?
The best way to do it is through Facebook. Just send me a message. I still got plenty of friend requests I can accept. I think I only have 2,000 members, which I think it caps at 5,000 or something. But yeah, just send me a message on Facebook is the best way. Or they can email me at donleejkd@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Folks, if you all want a drawing of your instructor or your instructor's instructor for your school, contact Don, because number one, that's the best way to preserve it. That's the best way to build and to keep tradition alive. You hate going to a martial arts school and they say they're teaching Taekwondo and they have two samurai swords on the logo. Do the stuff correctly. You understand what I'm saying? Or they're teaching Taekwondo and they have a praying mantis in the logo. You know, understand what rules are, understand where tradition is, understand all that, understand the history, preserve it. You guys are passing on, I'm talking to the masses out there. You all are passing on a tradition. A tradition comes with a history. And especially for those that say, I'm a traditionalist, if you guys cannot tell where your art comes from, start learning it, okay? It's a benefit, for everybody in whole. And Don, I commend you for your work, continue doing it. And we'll be posting some stuff on Don's work right after, you know, while this is going on. So people will see your work.
They can always go to my they can always go to my page and look through my photos and, you know, repost and share. I always appreciate that.
Absolutely. Don, you have a good one. It's always great talking to you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Great, brother. Thank you.
Be safe. All right, thank you.